Kenapa?
Siap naturalisasi dong.
Gak bisa.
Berarti bahasa Indonesia udah lancar.
Udah.
Our friend is Kyle Mbappe.
Mbappe? Saudara aku itu. And I was like, this country is so cool. 80% of the business is concentrated in Jakarta. Jakarta by night is pretty, man. And like Indonesians say, saya merasa betah di sini. Kalau saya merasa betah, kenapa harus pulang? I think the two words that define Indonesia, in my perspective, is freedom and happiness. So great to be back in Jakarta. I've been living in Indonesia for 9 years, but I spend most of my time in Jakarta. And I can tell you, I know more Jakarta than I know my hometown. It's a special city to me because it's where I made so many friends. I made also enemy. I learned to cope with loneliness because I spend most of my time alone. And I learned to be patient. I basically learned how to become a man, you know. So I can't really forget this city. And today in this video I want to show you around, to show you how Jakarta looks like. It's also common to call Jakarta the capital that expats love to hate. And indeed, I used to hate this city so much that I end up falling in love with it. Because everything happened here. In Indonesia, everything makes sense to me. The way people live, the way people think, the way people practice their culture, the way people pray. And once everything makes sense for you in a country that you didn't choose at the beginning, it became your home. And that's what happened with Indonesia. Because people can find weird the way people laugh, the way people make jokes, the way people think, you know. There is a lot of things that can make me mad as well, like jump carrot when people are so late. But somehow I accepted it. And once you accept things, like the negativity of the country, you will certainly call this place home. And I call Indonesia home. Everything makes sense. The culture, Bali makes sense to me, Flores, Maluku, Raja Ampat, Papua, Sumatra, Orang Batak, every culture, every tribe is in my heart. I'm holding and I'm carrying Indonesia in my heart. I felt like I just make one with this country. The first time when I arrived in Indonesia, I just felt the sense, I felt like the character and the personality of people here, it's something that makes sense to me. There. Punya banyak tapi punya ini. Ya. Indonesia makes me alive. Indonesia makes me seen by the world. You know, I have a story to share, a story that I've been writing since now 2013. When I came the first time in Indonesia, I was only 22. I had no English. My English was so poor. My Bahasa was not existing yet. But somehow I managed to learn the language. I managed to improve my English. And I managed to survive. That's the thing. In Jakarta, you don't live. In Jakarta, you survive. And once you learn to survive, you will start living. And I always say that strong people will win in Jakarta, but not good people. It doesn't mean like good people can't win. If you can be strong and good, that's great. But if you are only good, you can't win. Because Jakarta is pretty rough.
And of course, I still remember taking the back train and being squeezed in the crowd to get to work or to get to my meetings. Living in a big city amongst 15 million people has definitely made me stronger and gave me a mature perspective on life. I always compare my relationship with Indonesia with a sweet martabak and an undrinkable coffee. My time in Jakarta has been thrilling, emotional, difficult and amazing. One thing for sure is that Jakarta has made me so much more dependent on myself.
I became a real man in Jakarta because I was facing everything by myself. I had no backup. And it's always great to have no backup, because we often have this idea where people tell you need to have a backup, son. You need to have a backup, bro. But the reality, and it worked for me, when you have no backup, it's where you learn just to count on yourself. So you will start learning to believe in yourself, and you start learning how to solve problems by yourself. So you won't be dependent to anyone else. I think one of the reasons why I left France is the lack of opportunity. When you stay in your comfort zone, you can't see much. You will see only one page of your book, which is a waste, you know. When I was 22, I was thinking to leave France because I had this sense of adventure. I wanted to discover something else. So I have sent 720 CV around the world, to Japan, Korea, Singapore, Mexico, everywhere in the world. I just wanted to get out from France. And the plan was only for 2 months internship. But somehow I end up in Jakarta. And I can tell you the experience for the 3 first days was really rough for me, because I had no knowledge about this country. I had no knowledge about the tribe, about the money, about how people live. So it was a completely culture shock to me. But somehow I managed after 7 to 10 days to somehow fall in love with this country and make it home.
How are you? Nama saya Jack. Saya delivery order. Gojek.
Asik. Nice.
Nah, terima kasih. Semoga sehat selalu.
Dari mana Pak asli?
Asli Jakarta.
Jakarta?
Ya.
Orang Betawi jadi?
Betawi. Asli
Nice.
Betawi Jakarta.
Nice.
Ya.
Salam kenal Pak.
Salam kenal juga. Nama YouTubernya apa?
Mino Baki.
Mino Baki.
I got 1 subscriber. Yes. Ini dicariin.
Ya. Mino.
Nanti saya masukin Bapak di videoin. Mino
Mino ya. Mino
Baki.
Mino Baki.
Ya, space.
Oh,
Ada space.
Mino
Ya, yang pertama.
yang pertama.
Ini
Oke.
saya.
Ya, subscribe.
Ya. Ya, Prancis Tunisia.
Oh, Prancis Tunisia.
Bikin video di Tanzania, di Tunisia, di Prancis. Tapi saya udah pernah 10 tahun tinggal di sini.
Di Indonesia.
Di Indonesia.
Siap naturalisasi dong.
Kenapa?
Siap naturalisasi dong.
Gak bisa.
Nanti bahasa Indonesia udah lancar.
Udah.
Our friend is Kylian Mbappe.
Mbappe? Saudara aku itu.
Kylian Mbappe itu. Ini teman-teman
Gojek.
semua.
Oh. Salam kenal.
Ya, salam kenal.
Benzema. Zizou.
Itu. Zidane.
Senang ya nonton bola ya?
Senang sekali. Apalagi Indonesia masuk Piala Dunia. Apalagi sekarang Indonesia sedang berjuang ya.
Iya.
Sekarang sudah berada di Bahrain.
Oh.
Sudah.
Oh, baru tahu?
Bahrain. Sudah.
Oke.
Sudah melakukan visi. Kemarin berangkat. Semoga lawan Bahrain menang, lawan China menang.
Semoga.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Kemarin nonton ikut TNI 79
Ulang
Apa
tahun.
itu?
ulang tahun tentara.
Oh, tidak.
Indonesia Army. Oh, Islam juga bang.
Islam Muslim. Ya.
Prancis Muslim.
Saudara.
Oh, ya saudara kita.
Set Palestina.
Palestine, free Palestine. Forever.
Tadi ikut demo.
Ada demo hari ini?
Tadi pagi.
Oh, tadi pagi.
Kedutaan Amerika.
Saya baru tiba dari Labuan Bajo.
Oh, Labuan Bajo.
Kemarin ya kita lagi libur di Labuan Bajo, di Flores.
Labuan Bajo itu Labuan Bajo.
Ya.
Pantainya indah banget.
Pink Beach itu keren. Komodo.
Paling keren.
Keren banget itu.
Bajo.
Oh, masih ada demo buat Palestina ya?
Ya, tapi demo-demo santai.
Santai ya.
Demo-demo apa? Nggak anarkis. Oke, kita minum.
Terima kasih banget.
Ya.
Assalamualaikum.
Jangan lupa dimasukin saya ya.
Don't worry. Bye-bye.
Oke.
It's so easy to make friends in Jakarta. So easy. People are so friendly. They love to be on a camera. They love to share their experience, and they always get so excited when they find like a foreigner can speak their language. So I love that expression on their face where they're like, "Wow, kamu bisa bahasa Indonesia?" I just like it because they think like I can't speak bahasa. They will start speaking bahasa, but once I start speaking, they will be like, that's so great. Even though I feel like my Bahasa is not as good as it was, because I've been living back to France now for the past 2-3 years. But it's just so cool to see the expression, you know. Jakarta is pretty. Jakarta by night is pretty, man. I love the buildings, the lightings, the street food, the crowd. It feels super great, man, to walk by night, especially in Sudirman area, in Karet area. They have a nice sidewalk where you can walk easily. That's pretty awesome. Something interesting about Jakarta, 80% of the business is concentrated in Jakarta. So you will meet so many people from all around the archipelago, whatever they're from, Jakarta, Sumatra, Padang, Medan, Maluku, Flores, Bali, whatever. People come here just to work. They come here, they work so hard. They live in a tiny room, maybe between 10 to 15 meters square. I know that because I used to live in these kind of rooms. And I used to also hang out with this kind of people who are between 20 to sometimes 55 or 60. They just come from their village. They spend a full year, sometimes 5 years, and then they go back home once a year. It's called that specific day is called Mudik. Mudik is a urban migration where people migrate from Jakarta to their villages, and they just bring the money they made in Jakarta. And Mudik happens during Lebaran. Lebaran is a celebration of Eid al-Fitr to celebrate the end of Ramadan. Sometimes people get stuck on the way from Jakarta, for example, to Yogyakarta. It can last for 3 days because everyone at the same time is going back home. So you have all the people who are migrating from their villages to Jakarta going back home at the same time. So you have millions and millions of cars and motorcycles going back to Yogyakarta, going back to Lampung. Flights are overbooked to Bali, to Flores, to Maluku, to Sumatra. It's just amazing how people are patient, man. And Mudik is, I think, one of the lessons that gave me so many wiseness about family, how family is important. You can see people sacrificing their life, just for their loved ones. They are ready to not have any trips, any luxury life, any extra hangouts. They just work, man. They just eat nasi and ayam, and sometimes nasi and sayur, which is vegetables, nothing else, just to make sure they have enough money to bring back to the family. Let's have some food tonight. Let's go to the street food. I have no idea what to eat tonight. I was craving for nasi padang. I had it. For satay ayam, ayam bakar, nasi goreng. I had it all. Let's see what they got, and let's pick one. There is something about street food in Indonesia. I always get excited to go out and just try new things. Just have a nasi goreng or soto betawi or whatever food. In France, man, I rarely eat outside except if there's an occasion. But in Indonesia, Jakarta, Flores, Bali, wherever I go, I always get excited to go out and have something new. Like I can have a nasi goreng today, I can have a nasi padang tomorrow, I can have also for tonight, like I don't know, bebek madura, and another day satay ayam, and and so many diversity in their food, in their drinks. Man, to be honest, I never get tired of Indonesian food, man. I never. Name any plate, any dishes, from nasi goreng to bebek madura to nasi manado to soto betawi to nasi padang, satay ayam, whatever, man. I just enjoy it all. I have only three food that I don't really like. It's chicken, seblak and chilok. But for the rest, man, it's just awesome. And I never get tired. The excitement of every time going outside and having a nasi goreng is just so cool. And you get to meet friends. You have like some laugh. Something like I don't do it often. I don't do it often in France. Sometimes, of course, I love to go out with my friends in France, having a kebab or enjoying my mom food, my Tunisian, because my mom's still from Tunisia, some Tunisian food. But it's just so awesome to have, you know, diversity of food in Indonesia. Also in the drinks, you know, they have es teler, es campur, juice, alpukat, avocado, sirsak, salak, whatever, man, you name it. Indonesia has a lot of diversity of food and drinks that makes me so excited all the time. And look at the views, man. Jakarta by night is awesome, man. I love it, especially on Sunday night. It's not too crowded. People are mostly at home or maybe coming back from holiday. They often go to Bogor, to Puncak, to spend some holidays with the family, or to Bandung, because it's a city like 2 hours from Jakarta. But I'm right here in the center of Jakarta. Pretty awesome, man. I have all my memories right here. When I started my internship in 2013, I used to hang out here a lot. So I have so many memories coming back now. Just awesome to be back, man. We are here near Jalan Sabang. It's a famous street food known in Center Jakarta, Jakarta Pusat. I used to have some street food back then. Let's see what they got tonight. I'm actually thinking to have a martabak, but martabak, it's I love the sweet one. I love to have the keju chocolate, but tonight I want something salty. See, this is the martabak. No, that's not the martabak. That's roti bakar. They have a satay. I'm not into satay. I am right now. I may have just some rice with some chicken. No idea what to get. Maybe a nasi goreng gila, because I'm a gila. Kan saya orang gila. Tapi harus tanya harga dulu, biar nggak ditipu. I have no idea what to eat. I'm thinking about nasi goreng gila, or perhaps ayam bakar. I think sounds good too. I don't know. Let's see. Pak, nasi goreng gila berapa itu?
Nasi goreng gila 30, bos.
30 ya?
Iya.
Kalau yang biasa?
20.
20. Ya udah nak, yang biasa aja.
Bos, makan sini.
Makan sini.
Iya.
Ya. Classic nasi goreng. It's a classic one. Basic food. Very good. Not too spicy. Sedang. Ya, mau pesen.
Oh, pesan.
Ya, yang nipis sih.
Jeruk nipis, Pak, bisa nggak? Nipis. Satu aja.
Satu aja ya.
Siap.
Bungkus ya, Pak. the iced tea from Solo. One thing for sure, in Indonesia the food is super affordable. Nice. Very refreshing.